Sometimes something grabs us when we're very young and never lets go. People think it's a temporary distraction or a fad or a phase we'll outgrow. We know better. Hey, it's our first love. We know that no matter where life takes us and no matter what we do along the way, this will be what defines us, what makes us who we are. Like family and friends and our first I love you, this is part of us forever. Bank of Louisville, always here.
Millions of Americans spend the night glued to their TV sets, catching the cast of Seinfeld in the series finale.
And Wave 3's on the scene to get the latest on the second local abduction hoax in a week.
But first, a day of healing for Heath High students and their families as a memorial to the school shooting victims is unveiled. Good evening, everybody. I'm Julie Nelson.
And I'm Scott Reynolds. Thanks for joining us tonight. First, a private ceremony for students, then a public ribbon cutting tonight to dedicate the memorial in honor of the 3 girls gunned down 5 months ago. Today also reminded Paducah residents of the importance of stopping violence, strengthening faith, and putting family first. The Heath High Memorial is our top story tonight. Wave 3's Sabrina Kang joins us now live from Paducah with the latest. Sabrina?
I think it's safe to say, Scott, that many students and faculty at Heath High School can't wait till this school year is a distant memory. 6 months after that shooting rampage here, you still see many signs of grief in the community. But tonight, victims' families and friends are hoping to end the school year on a high note. Come, let's rejoice, 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 rejoice. This is a celebration. You wouldn't think Heath High School would be rejoicing, but this memorial garden is a way for the community to remember the 8 shooting victims with happier memories.
This is not a graveyard. This is a celebration. We are happy about it. We will laugh and play out here. We will enjoy this. It is a place to bring peace to us.
So many people wanted to help build the garden. Many volunteers were turned away. Victims' families say the meditation garden brings them peace.
Just thinking about our daughter, how wonderful she was, but also how wonderful all the people of this community has been to provide a garden like this. I mean, the money and the labor that went into something like this was just absolutely wonderful, and we appreciate everything they've done for us.
There's a lot of love out there. That's what this is. It's the community love.
The victims' friends say the garden isn't just for Heath, but for everyone.
It's really gotten our school up. Everybody's, whole nation's watching us and stuff. I think it's really good. It's sort of, in a way, good because we're getting a point across to kids across the nation, and it's just really bringing out God's strength and everything throughout all of us.
So the band played on to celebrate these teens' lives. And it's really fitting that music was such a big part of this dedication because the 3 students who were killed, Case Steger, Jessica James, and Nicole Hadley, were all band members at Heath High School. Scott?
All right, thanks. Sabrina Kang reporting tonight from Paducah. The parents of the 3 girls killed at Heath High announced they formed a new group to fight school violence. The group is called KNJ, K for Casey Steger, N for Nicole Hadley, and J for Jessica James. The parents of the girls say they want to find answers to youth violence and counsel victims.
We have reached a turning point. We can no longer sit back and wait for the next town and the next to be shocked when it's their school.
And Steger and the other parents also say the title KNJ stands for Kids Need Jesus.
10 years ago today, a drunk driver named Larry Mahoney ended 27 lives and changed countless others. It was May 14th, 1988, when he plowed his pickup into a bus carrying a church group back to Radcliffe. Today, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers honored the crash victims' families, and survivors shared memories of loved ones lost and caught up on a decade's worth of healing and growth.
There may be times where it's not directly on my mind, sure, but in the long run as a whole, no, it's always with me.
The crash stands as the deadliest drunk driving accident in U.S. history.
And 2 women who lost children in that bus crash went on to play key roles in MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. The group has gotten a lot of credit for the dramatic drop in fatal drunk driving wrecks in our country. In 1988, 23,626 Americans lost their lives to drunk driving accidents. That number dropped to 16,520 last year. MADD's big push now is to lower the nation's legal blood alcohol limit to 0.08.
Louisville police are searching for a serial rape suspect tonight who preys on women in the downtown area. A woman was raped inside the Waterfront Plaza at 325 West Main this morning. The rapist followed her onto an elevator and forced her off onto a vacant floor. Police say the same man raped a woman in the Presbyterian USA parking garage on April 3rd and attacked another woman in a Magazine Street parking garage a year ago. Here now is a picture of the man police are looking for in this serial rape case. They say they have several leads already in the case. If you think you know who this is, please call the Louisville police. The second kidnapping hoax involving a Hoosier in a week. This time, it's a woman charged. Vanessa Lux could spend a year in jail for the hoax. Lux originally claimed two men kidnapped her from her Indianapolis home, drove her to the Bernheim forest, and locked her in the trunk of her car. But her story unraveled quickly. So why would someone like Lux or Orange County's Chans Riggins lie about being kidnapped?
Faking a kidnapping is just the most extreme example of a form of deception, and there can be several motives for that kind of a lie.
Lux admitted to dreaming up the scheme to get back at a man in Indianapolis.
I'm wondering if tomorrow night at this time we'll be able to see John through the smoky haze in the backyard.
Yeah, we're going to talk more about that later, but some interesting weather may be on the way for tomorrow. In the meantime, just another hot, humid day ahead. 65 in the morning for your wake-up weather with clear skies. We'll be into the lower 80s by midday, topping out around 90 degrees. More in the haze, more in the pollution, and of course that weekend forecast later on.
Thank you, John.
A federal judge today threw out the charges against an FBI sharpshooter who killed a white separatist's wife at Ruby Ridge. That tops our World Watch tonight. The judge accepted the Justice Department's claim that sniper Lon Horiuchi didn't see Randy Weaver's wife when he fired the bullet that killed her during an 11-day standoff. Mrs. Weaver was unarmed. A county prosecutor had charged Horiuchi with manslaughter for that killing.
The DNA testing of one of America's unknown soldiers is now underway. The Pentagon ordered the Tomb of the Unknowns open to answer questions about the identity of the soldier from the Vietnam conflict. The family of Air Force Lieutenant Michael Blassie says they have paperwork that indicates it's Blassie's body. But the Army says another pilot was shot down in the same area that same day, and it could be him. It will take a month to get those DNA results. President Clinton says his back is killing him. Clinton is in England for an economic summit. He's been moving slowly through crowds and had to brace himself while getting back into his limousine today. White House Press Secretary Mike McCurry says the president re-aggravated a back injury doing stretches Monday before a golf game. Spending hours on his feet during his European trip hasn't helped.
Maybe he kicked up his feet and watched Seinfeld on satellite tonight.
But he did.
Well, the show's history now, so it's time to critique that big finale.
We'll have a live report on some of the biggest local parties up next. But first, a Seinfeld moment.
I wouldn't really say it's more about nothing. I think it's more about little tiddlywink things that people wouldn't really normally talk about out in the open, and it just addresses them.
You're watching Wave 3 News at 11 on Wave Country's News Leader with Scott Reynolds, Angela Martinez, meteorologist John Belsky, and Bob Dominy Sports.
Wave 3 News is brought to you by your Louisville area Dodge dealers.
It's your own little world. You're way up high, so you can see everything. It has lots of places to hide your treasures. It's roomy. It's cozy, with space for all your favorite things and your favorite people. It makes you feel like you're part of a club. Dodge Caravan. It's like a treehouse for grown-ups. Now, select Dodge and competitive owners get up to $2,000 cash back on Dodge Caravan.
Time together. Just the two of you? What a concept. Time to share some old stories. To make some new memories. The trick, of course, is how do you find the time? Well, until someone figures out how to put more hours in a day, maybe we can give them to you with all the time you can save.
While you're at the marketplace, Winn-Dixie Marketplace.
Isn't life delicious?
Government's most basic job is to make our homes and streets safer. As county judge, I'll require every prisoner to pass a drug test, or they'll stay in jail. When prisoners are released, communities will be notified through a new parole watch program. And Operation SAFE will provide the elderly with more security and emergency help, particularly for those who live alone.
Protecting our families.
Joe Corradino, Democrat for Jefferson County Judge.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Bukowski?
Yeah, this is Mr. Bukowski.
Hi, this is Cellular One, your phone company.
Oh, sure.
We're just calling to tell you that we're changing our name.
You too, huh?
Yeah, we're now GTE Wireless. Better service, more flexibility to change your rate plan with your contract.
Jeez, I could use a break with that contract on me.
Right. So remember, that's GTE Wireless. No smoke, no mirrors, no wires.
Wires. That's what got me into this mess.
This woman's medical triumph could mean hope and help for us all. Don't miss Melissa's story, a medical update, Saturday night at 11, only on Wave 3 News.
Yeah, I think it's sad. It's a good show. It's kind of sad. 9 years is a long time. This is it, so there better be reruns.
Don't worry, there will be. It was the finale seen around the world, literally.
Folks who say they estimate that 40 million people in America alone watched it, tuned in to watch the last Seinfeld show ever. A fair number of those people, it seemed, did their viewing right here in Wave Country, many of them at Seinfeld parties. Our David MacArthur was one of those party goers. He joins us now live from Jillian's Bar on Barrett Avenue. Hi, David.
Hey, Julie. We're here on Jillian's Outdoor Deck, a popular spot to watch the final episode of Seinfeld, though it's kind of thinning out now. Now, I can't tell you exactly if I enjoyed it because I was working and I taped it at home and I wanted to devote my full attention when I got home, so I didn't want to watch it through the night here. But I think everyone else enjoyed the show. Buckhead's Bar and Grill, the official Wave 3 Seinfeld party.
Everything's funny about Seinfeld because it happens to real people.
It's an interesting comedy, interesting take that they have on general life. And
everybody can relate to what they're talking about.
Among the chuckling crowd of hundreds, some almost familiar faces. Look-alike contest winners Kramer, a graceful George, and Elaine, with the moves as proof.
And she's funny, and she likes to have fun, and she jokes around a lot, and I think that's my personality.
And one not-so-familiar face actually on the show.
It was a Super Bowl episode where Newman ended up at the Super Bowl with Jerry. And
at Jillian's, wall-to-wall Seinfeld on the screen and at the bar.
We got the Yada Yada Colada, Kramer's Kool-Aid, Peterson's Punch, and the Costanza.
A fitting farewell for one last episode.
You're going to get a lot of people that are going to show up for it, especially with this show that's naturally as popular as it is.
And 9 years of laughs. So many in those 9 years have tried to cash in on the popularity of the show. Jillian's is one, but there have been a lot of Seinfeld parties around town. This is one of the reasons. Customers who stick around throughout the night. Now, there's one Kentucky man who didn't ever ask for the publicity, but Seinfeld helped make his name a household name when Elaine started to go to work for J. Peterman.
Thank you for calling the J. Peterman Company.
The real J. Peterman lives and runs his catalog from Lexington, Kentucky. The J stands for John.
They have an image of who J. Peterman should be, and that's why I don't like to expose myself too much, like on television.
With the exception of travel.
Took the Orient Express from Singapore to Bangkok, and then went over to Rangoon, took the riverboat up the Irrawaddy River to Mandalay, and went out into the Thar Desert on camels for 3 or 4 days.
He claims no other similarities.
I'm not as prim and proper as John is on the show.
With the exception of this one company store in Lexington, most Peterman customers are limited to catalog shopping. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but with the success of Seinfeld, Yada Yada Yada, and the new name recognition, Peterman now plans on opening up 70 retail stores nationwide.
Thank you for calling the J. Peterman Company. How can I help you? About every 4th or 5th call, someone will say, oh, I saw you all on Seinfeld last night, or is Elaine there? This is Elaine. How may I help you?
Would you settle for Elaine Reed?
You laugh with them for a while and they'll say, does everybody answer Elaine? No, I'm the only one. And at first it was cute, but it becomes weary after a while.
You know, nothing lasts forever.
You'll understand if I'm a little bit drained tomorrow during our squash game. My lovemaking can get slightly athletic.
There's more than be said for your squash game.
It's funny. I've been away from the seduction scene so long, I was worried I'd lost my technique.